This video is brought to you by my awesome Patreon supporters. To help support my work, keep my videos ad-free, and get rewards, follow the link in the description below. You can then select a tier depending on your budget, and every little bit helps. Thank you. So, counting. It's one of those things that you always say you're going to practice. You always want to practice. You know it's great for your game. Sometimes you do it and it works out, but most of the time you just never actually think to do it or practice it. Because you don't practice it, you don't get good at it. Because you're not good at it, you don't do it. And it's a vicious cycle, but I'm here to help you guys break that cycle today. Okay? No one practices counting. I'm going to just say that right now. Literally nobody practices counting. Ever. I've never met a single amateur Go player that practices counting. But there are ways to make it easier to casually count in your games and get to a pretty close estimate fast and in a way that you don't forget all the scores and stuff. So I'm going to give you some tips. That's what I use to quickly estimate scores. And yeah, why would you practice? So when I think about counting, at least from my Q days and my Don days, who am I kidding? I still have trouble counting. The two biggest hurdles to counting are A, it takes a long time. And when you're playing a game and you're thinking and you're reading, you don't want to spend the time to count. And B, I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but I always forget the goddamn scores of the people. So I'll count everything for black, and then I'll start counting stuff for white, and then I'll forget black's score. So then I'll go back and count black, and then I forget white's score. I'm like, did white have 36 or 40? I don't know. Maybe he had tomato. Maybe he just won already and I didn't realize it yet. I don't know. I don't remember. So the speed and the forgetting were like my two biggest issues. So to help with the speed, we get pen and paper. What are you, in the dark ages? We don't have time to open up Microsoft Notepad or Word or have a computer applet. We're in the middle of a heated battle of Go. Can't be writing, what are we, chess players? We're just gonna write stuff down in a notebook? No, we're not that. We're not doing that. I have a better way for you guys. Better way. Yes, binary counting. That's what I was gonna say. No, that's not what I was gonna say. So let's try to work on the speed first. So this advice for the speed was something that I learned during a professional Go lecture that one of the Go groups that I was a part of some years ago had for me. Someone knew a semi-professional that was willing to give a lecture for us. It was super awesome. And the trick is to count by twos. Don't count 1 point at a time, count 2 points at a time.
You have been invited.
Okay? And don't count so instead of counting in single points, you count in pairs. And you just mentally group 2 points together for every one pair. Now the sounds super, hey Scats, how you doing? Thanks for the cheer. So, you count in twos. So let's examine how this would go. So normally, and I'm going to use the mouse to, how do I review this game? Yeah, here we go. So normally we would count by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? We just do that, right? But with the pair counting, we count in pairs. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 11 and a half. And you'll find that if you're doing it in pairs, you don't go 2, 4, 6, 8. You go 1, 2, 3, but you just know that they're in pairs. You'll find that when you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a half, you spend the same amount of time counting each unit as you do for counting one by one. But now you're literally cutting your time in half because you're doubling the speed at which you can count because you're counting in pairs, not single points. Even this little corner, you'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you can just be like 1, 2, 3 pairs. 1, 2, 3 pairs. I just looked at 2 points at the same time. We knew that's 3 pairs or 6 points. We can take the bottom one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pairs. That was just like that. I just counted 6 pairs in half the time. Would have been taking me to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? Let's take this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs. Done. As opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. So counting in pairs versus points not only reduces the number of, like the size of the numbers so you can remember them easier because it cuts everything in half. So much faster. So much faster. So if you just do practice that, and it does take some practice, if you have an odd number that doesn't fit in a pair, like I said, 11.5 over here, then you store that one extra half in your mind, and then the next time there's an odd number, you just pair it up, and you just like, that's a pair. So, okay, that's cool. How then do you not forget people's scores? So that is something that I came up with. I didn't hear this from anyone, but it really does work for me. And it's such a simple trick. I'm super annoyed I didn't think of this sooner. And the trick is, once you've counted the points for one side, instead of starting at 0 for the other side and going up, you just take the final score of the first person, then just count down when you count the other person's. So let's say white had, 40 pairs of points, right? So we did our pair counting. We're like, okay, white has 40. Now we go do blacks. So instead of remembering 40 and then starting from 0 and going like 1, 2, 3, 4, instead we just stay at 40. And then for every point pair that black has, we just go count down. So we go 39, 38, 37, 36. If when we've counted all of black's points, the final number is positive, we know white had more points. If it's negative, we know black had more points. So we don't need to ever remember 2 sets of numbers. We just have to count down from the first person that we did. I've not heard of the 50 technique. I think they're kind of similar. I think the 50 technique uses some mathematical trick, but it involves that. I just like subtracting and then knowing. So between those two things, it's super easy, Wiccan. It is super, super easy because it's logic. Like as long as you're counting backwards, like if you run out of points before you hit 0, you know the first person had more. So let's try, so I'm going to run through with you guys. So I don't practice counting, but occasionally during my games, I try to count. So I'm going to, out loud, I just clicked on a random game here. I'm going to show you guys how I would count this. And then we're going to check the score estimator and we're going to see how close I am. Yeah? So we'll start with black. So I'm not going to I'm going to go like the speed at which I have learned how to do this. Right? So starting with black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 24.5, 25, 26 pairs. So about 26 to 26.5, and I'm pretty sure we got everything. We got that one, that one, that one, we got that one. Yeah, so about 26.5. So now we'll do whites, but we're going to count downwards. So automatically subtract 3.5 for Comey. So we're starting at, so 26.5, 23, right? 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. So we've got about a score of -6 to -8, which means that white is leading by 14 to 16 points, assuming we didn't miss any areas. So if we go to the score estimator, oh, we have to go back. We have to go to the end of the game. It's not counting some of the stuff. Yeah, so I said 14 to 15 pairs, which is like 7 points. Oh, there's no Comey in this game. That's why. Okay, there's no Comey. But it's fairly close, given the no Comey rule. Yeah, that's fairly close because Comey was like 7.5 points. So let's try another one. How about everybody counts? We'll do a little bit of a counting practice sesh here. Let's go to another random game. Let's do this one. That's gross. That's still going on. Let's do one that's like already kind of finished, so it's a little easier. That's an easy one. Okay. An important thing to remember is to remember to always count the captures of the opponent, because sometimes I get an estimate and then I forget to capture think about the stones that were already captured, and then I forget, right? So then I'm off by a few points. Right. And the other cool thing about counting in pairs is that each dead stone is just 1 point. You don't have to do 2 for a dead stone. You have to do 1 for a dead stone. So let's try this one. So we'll start with black again. So we'll just go around the board. It's important to remember to keep your group straight, right? So for black, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13 and a half, 14, 15, 16. Wait, hold on. Did I remember to count these? That's right. You have to remember. You have to like build a logic in your head to remember it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13 and a half, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 and a half. 28 and a half points. So now we go from white, we subtract 3.5 for Comey, so that's 35, 25, right? 25. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14 and a half, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Negative like 11 and a half. So this is definitely around like a 20-point victory, I think. Is the score that I got was like around a 20-point victory for white, including Comey, excluding Comey. It's around a 15-point victory. So excluding Comey, it's around, so I said like a 20-point victory. So excluding Comey, it's around like 13, 14-point victory, right? So that's sort of how you do it. So let me look at the chat and see about questions. Do you count all the pairs, then quickly scan the board and say there are 5 captures? Honestly, I would do whatever makes sense for you. Pick a system and then just follow it consistently so you don't forget, right? I like to count the dead stones as I encounter them versus trying to remember which dead stones I did or didn't. That's just my system. But if you like doing everything else and then doing the stone tallies, then you can do that. Absolutely. And even if you're not super good, you can get a sense of scale, right? You don't have to do the exact counting and know, but like you can understand like, oh wow, like it's pretty close. Or shit, like I'm really, really behind. I counted like at least 20 points behind. Or I'm super ahead. I don't need to fight as aggressively right now. So those are the tips that I use for counting. I hope that can help some people. That's my little mini lecture of the day. And I hope, I hope you guys got something out of that. Again, I don't count in every one of my games. I'm still bad. I still don't behave, and I still don't count as much as I should, and I don't think anybody does. But it's a start. And, the more you try it, the more you do it. So for people counting at home, now keep in mind, I don't think they did Comey here. Maybe they did. The annoying thing is I don't know if they did or didn't do Comey. But the score is white by 13.5. So I think that was around what we got. Excluding Comey, if you exclude Comey from the Dawn difference, because it was a rank difference, we said around a 20-point victory, but that was including Comey. So excluding Comey, it was around 13.5. So we got it. We got it. Also true. That is a great point, Captain Mathmo. That's very apt, very good analysis of the time settings. Yeah, time settings can absolutely help. Good job, Wiccan, you did it. See? You see how easy that was? All of you can do it. We can all do it. We can all be counting masters.